I were to be really brutally honest, I went through a time of it was a little traumatic time. But I remember I started to become interested in spirituality and just trying to find, okay, well, what's this life about?
Yeah.
And it kind of in the same time, just living kind of a normal kind of life, going to school, graduating, planning to go to college, these types of things. Interesting, before I started doing any type of practice, actually kind of coming onto a mat, I was doing a lot of reading about spirituality, and I came across the 8 limbs. I remember thinking how interesting it was because, for one, it seemed quite practical, and two, maybe it's because the way my mind works a little bit, I kind of noticed, oh, there's 1 limb, 2 limb, 4. It was these steps that you take, and it seemed kind of to me, it looked kind of like a roadmap to some type of greater knowledge. When I was in college, started to take some yoga classes, and then I was also a cheerleader in college too, and I started to have some back problems, actually, even being quite young. And then that's what kind of spurred me into, there's this, in yoga there seems to be some type of healing too with the postures. And then with that curiosity that I had before, I started to go into asana practice. Around my 20s, that's when I found Ashtanga. So around 20, a few years later, because I kept doing this research. Oh, this yoga thing is so interesting. And then when I found Ashtanga, I was like, whoa, this is something really, that really captivated me. I feel like this sense of movement or what yoga does, it allows you to feel the spirit more within your body. It took quite a while for me to give up the security, or what I thought was security. Soon I started to realize that security is actually more building my life on something. It's not tangible, but this yoga I feel is more real than these material or conditioning societal types of ways of life. So I navigated through different types of work, and before I stopped all of that and started teaching yoga full time, I actually was working for a pharmaceutical company. My boss's boss, I was going through a training, and he had a one-on-one meeting with me, and he told me, he was like, Laruga, you could be the best. I see it in you, you could be the best, but there's something, I can see that there's something holding you back. What is it? What do you want? And I kind of looked at him, and I really had nothing to say. I mean, my model now for success is someone that's living in their own authenticity. I feel like there's still so much more for me to work on to more fully inhabit that authenticity. I definitely feel like I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I'm passionate about. And there's no turning back, from this point. And it goes back to what I was saying, is building your foundation on something that's more real. It's not of this material world. And so when you build it on something, on this, I don't want to name it. That internal power, your soul, your connection to the greater source, whatever you want to call it. That connection, you start to become more fearless. Now, I can't say that I am always in that space, but the practice definitely helps me to connect to it.